Good morning, everyone. Another day, another set of results from Southern Cross, and bang, we've done it again with hole 108A. This is a really interesting hole on many levels. It's drilled at depth in Apollo into the area now we know as Apollo Deep. It has the highest grades of gold found at Apollo, so the grade is getting better as we go to depth. We hit up to 576 grams of gold, 576 grams of gold over 20 centimeters. It had multiple 7 intervals greater than 15 grams of gold. So lots of high grade. So those grades are getting better at depth. It found new extensions going east. So 150 meters east, we found 3 new vein sets. So that's on top of the 42 we already knew. So now we're up to 45, and those vein sets further east than we've ever tested before are beneath some trenching that we did out further east about 18 months ago. We didn't really understand how it worked back then, and we trenched 15 or 14 meters at 15 grams out there. And then we drilled a very shallow hole down at 25 meters depth under that trench and got 1.5 at 6.6. Now we're a good deal down dip, 260 meters down dip from those holes. So higher grade, finding new veins further east. And then notwithstanding, this was the deepest hole, 150 meters down dip from the last known mineralization. So that mineralization's extending at depth in Apollo. So the hole was fantastic in many ways, and those 3 ways specifically. There's some great figures that you can see in the press release. There's a normal long section, then there's more of another section at a slightly different angle to the long section that shows the new veins to the east, shows the extension down dip. So it's all very, very, very interesting in terms of how this hole has delivered. So there's so much more drilling now to be done in this area, Apollo Deep, that's getting better at depth, just like it did across at Rising Sun, about 400 or 500 meters to the west. This hole is important because it fits our strategy and what we've been trying to demonstrate over the last 6 months. Firstly, focus on grade. So we know these systems get better at depth. So we've been testing it to depth in Apollo, and we're starting to see those increased grades. And you can see there's a chart that shows how those grades, both in gold and antimony in this case, get better at depth. We're focused on volume and increasing volume, and this hole has not only stepped down dip 150 meters from known mineralization, but it's stepped out to the side 150 meters to find those new veins. So we're bringing new volume. Our mineralization is therefore getting larger. The third part of our strategy is to demonstrate the regional scale, and it's important to know that where we've extended those veins out 150 meters east, we've still got 9 kilometers to go. So we've only really looked at 1 kilometer of the 10. So only looking at 10% of the field in where we're drilling to date. So ticks the boxes on so many levels. We've still got 4 rigs operating at Sunday Creek today. 3 of those rigs are at Rising Sun, and 1 is at Apollo. So we're still drilling in and around Apollo. So we've got to focus more at Apollo. And as likewise, we've got to continue to focus on the fantastic areas around Rising Sun and under hole 82, which is where now we're going to go also as we move further west, looking towards Christina, in that 1/2 to 2/3 of the area that we really haven't drilled below very superficial areas and where there's old mines. So a hell of a lot to go here at Sunday Creek. Always news flow coming from Sunday Creek, so stay tuned. For those of you in the Northern Hemisphere, specifically in Toronto, we're going to be an exhibitor at the PDAC conference. That's where about 20,000 people congregate every year from this Sunday, just looking at my diary, the 3rd to the 6th You'll see us there in the booth. Come and say hello. We also have 2 of those 4 days where one of the select group that's been chosen to demonstrate our core to the world. So we've got some very high grade core. Come along, have a look, see the sparkly stuff, and either see myself, Nick Mead, our corporate development manager, and Kenneth Bush, our exploration manager, who will be in attendance as well. So look forward to seeing you there across the pond.